Welcome to the space where we have difficult conversations and conversations that many people shy away from. Today, I want to focus on marriage and give my thoughts about what I think about marriage and how marriage came to be. My thoughts are that marriage was set up in order to give women some form of protection from the men taking advantage of them, making them pregnant, and then disappearing. Men want sex. Men need sex. And in order to get this sex, a woman is involved most of the time. A woman is involved. And when a woman is involved, there is the risks of pregnancy. I want us to go back enough years before we had contraceptives. So a woman having sex was prone to getting pregnant. So when she is pregnant, she is vulnerable. She cannot go out there and fend for herself to find food, protect herself from the elements and all these things. So because a man needed a woman for sex, then the woman, of course, would need a man for protection when she got pregnant. And also let us remember that human children take a lot of time before they develop, so it takes sometimes up to 18 years. That is the legal adult age in Kenya. So in order to protect this woman and this child, in order to provide, to get the man to provide for this child, the marriage institution was set up. So once we recognize that, then we already do away with all this nonsense or misrepresentation and misinformation that the marriage as an institution was set up to benefit the man. So when an institution is in place, there needs to be policies and guidelines on how this institution is to operate, because you have two adults who are coming together under marriage. So there needs to be a hierarchy of power, because decisions have to be made within this institution. And that hierarchy of power within our setup has put man on top of the hierarchy, meaning that the man is the one who will make the final decision. If an issue came up that was either controversial or that lacked consensus, then the man will be the one to say, this is the way we go, and the man will be the one to take responsibility for the consequences of that decision. So it's not about power, it is power and responsibility. So if you have a visionary man at the top of the hierarchy, then the family prospers. If you have a man without vision at the top of the hierarchy, then of course the family suffers. But those are the facts of the matter. Just because the man is the one who makes the final decision does not translate to a man making all the decisions. Because people come here and play with words. Because I say man is the final decision maker in the home, they turn it to mean that man is the only decision maker in the home, and that is a bunch of nonsense. Those are just people politicking for nothing. Because reality does not give credence to their claims. It does not, kabisa. Because we all know that even as children, there were decisions our parents allowed us to make. Because we were given responsibilities. The older we got, the more responsibility we were given. And when you are given responsibilities, you are given the power to make decisions within your scope of responsibility. We know that women have responsibilities, and within that scope of responsibility, they make decisions within that scope of their responsibility. However, when we have an issue that needs consensus, that needs consultation, there are times when two people do not agree, that there needs to be a directive on. So because we have an issue that we do not agree on, how do we get out of this impasse? And that's where the man comes in and says, you know what, this is the way to go. And then he takes responsibility for that decision. If it is the wrong one, then he has to live with the consequences of that wrong decision, if that is what it means. The issue of childless marriages is very, 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 very recent. So marriage was not for love. Marriage was not for companionship. So if you can find the two things in your marriage, you are very lucky. Marriage was and is all about children until very recent, when now it became about love and about companionship. And then also this word partnership, people just take it like for granted, like a partnership is 50-50. That's not always the case. A partnership can be 90-10. A partnership can be 80-20. A partnership can be 55-45. It doesn't have to be 50-50. So let us stop with the misinformation, and it is not working so well for us. The divorce cases are up. Single parenthood is up. So if you have any comments, any disagreement, ingia tu kwa comments hapa hivi, weka comments zako, then let us have this conversation, kwa sababu at the end of the day, it's only when we have difficult conversations that we can find solutions on the issues zenye zinatufinyilia.